the provisions of the Island Trust Bill were onerous. I mean, apart from modest increases in what were then the towns, the island towns, there couldn't be any more growth.
Yeah.
Actually, I was someone who thought that was a great idea.
The Island Trust Bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
I supported it. Even went to Congress and testified at a hearing there.
Wow.
Scotty Reston still owned the Gazette.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I stayed in his little apartment in New York City and in Washington at his house in order to testify.
Wow.
And but the vineyard population was almost solidly unhappy with the Islands Trust Bill.
Yeah.
So
When and how did discussions about the state bill come up? And
as soon as the Kennedy bill was made public, the opposition emerged right away. And I think there were a couple of reasons for it. One was that they thought they had, well, first of all, they didn't want to be, confined as kind of unusual objects in a national park.
right.
That was a big part of it.
Yeah.
But also, they wanted the place to be able to expand, the economy to grow larger,
Yeah.
more people to live here, their children be able to live here and afford to live here.
Was there a generational split where the younger people were more opposed to it and the older people more in favor?
I think the older people were the more opposed.
Opposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a national park, there are a lot of things you can do, but there are a lot of things you can't do. So,
Yeah.
but anyhow, basically, the scuffle between Sargent and Kennedy was kind of a turf battle. I wrote a lot of the rules and regulations and things that would remain today.
Yeah.
But of course, the first gang of people who were members of the commission,
Mm-hmm.
me among them, had no idea how to go about creating a methodology to go about controlling growth and managing growth
Yeah.
and but a great many of the members of the commission in that first year or two were well-known figures in the community. There were scallopers and fishermen and stuff, ordinary folk who were, and they used the advice of people like you, I suspect, who had been educated about land preservation and that sort of thing, and so they were the advisors. And that's how it was. It was a very. They were leading the way to making up rules and regulations that would govern growth.
Yeah.
The big distinction really was that if it had become a national park, the rules were simple. You can't build in a national park.
Right.
you can't add to your house in the national park.
So yeah,
And because of that, and by contrast, the Martha's Vineyard Commission had to deal with all of those issues, and it had to be reasonable about them,
right.
and it had to, so the developer would come in and say, I want to build 25 houses here on 15 acres of land, and you would say, well, you can't do that. We won't let you do that. You can build 10.
Right.
But 10 was still a lot more
Yeah.
than anyone really wanted.
Yeah.
Basically, what you discovered was that every one of the issues resulted in a compromise.